in the Central, and looks like a good one. Both teams are 2-0 on the season. Pat, what do you see based on the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think Garnet Valley's going to have maybe a tougher matchup than they've had the last couple of weeks. Both teams are very physical teams. They have a pretty solid middle of the offense and defense. Ridley, of course, with a new coaching staff and a new philosophy over there, have not been airing it out like they're used to. Although in watching the last couple weeks of film, I have a feeling we'll see them throw a little more often than they have, with offensive coordinator, Garnet Valley coaching staff alumni, Scott Green over there running the spread triple option. So Garnet Valley certainly familiar with that offense. Will stand for the pledge.
We've had the coin toss. The captains for Garnet Valley tonight were Dominic Bertone, Joe Thomas, and Alex Yao. And honorary captain this evening was Dave Wood. Dave Wood, the son of the Ridley head coach, Dave Wood.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Ricky before the game. Unfortunately, we're having capacity problems and can't bring you those. If you're checking in on Facebook, you can see some of those interviews. But he mentioned the whole litany of coaches over there that have some Garnet Valley experience, including Scott Green and Putman, right? It was an offensive lineman here several years ago. The receivers coach from last year who followed Scott Green from Kennett to Garnet Valley, and then Garnet Valley over to Ridley.
Scott Green is a special ed teacher at Ridley. Ridley won the toss and elected to defer till the second half. Garnet Valley will be receiving and going right to left into the sunshine across your iPad, your iPhone, or your computer. And we're underway. A low line drive taken on the fly by Danny Guy, and Danny Guy's going up the middle. 40, getting a block. 20, 15, 10, touchdown.
No flags on the field.
An 85-yard kickoff return by Danny Guy on the opening kickoff.
The same exact play that happened against us against Ridley last year.
14 seconds into the game.
Yeah, that was a nice little gap that opened up for Danny Guy as he jumped up to make that catch on the deep kick. Talking to Greg Mink before the game, he said they don't usually kick deep, and now I think we know why. The Garnet Valley certainly not immune to those kind of coverage problems on the deep kick, but great early start for Garnet Valley.
I don't think he was touched. There was plenty of blocking, and I don't think anybody touched him.
He did a good job using his blockers to find an open seam and then hit the afterburners to finish it off.
Buttermore gets the extra point, and Garnet Valley goes up 7-0. Last week, Garnet Valley's defensive line was all over Upper Darby, holding Upper Darby to minus 44 yards rushing on, I think, 13 carries. And then Upper Darby just abandoned the run and threw the ball for over 300 yards. So we don't know what to see out of Ridley based on the video from last week that they saw against, Garnet Valley's video.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw on film, Ridley did, they certainly, knowing Scott Green and knowing the relationship with that offense, they're going to try to establish the run necessarily, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them come out in a bit of a short passing game early on, and if they're doing some film study, they realize if Garnet Valley's defense has a weakness, it certainly has been against the pass the first couple weeks.
Jacob Buttermore will do a directional kick to this side, taken by number 10 at the 20-yard line. That's Malik Young. He gets up to about the 30, and Ridley will put it in play at their own 30-yard line. Ridley rushed last week 35 times for only 84 yards total.
It tells you Haverford's playing some pretty good defense. Haverford also looks like a very physical team. And as Coach Panarella was telling us on the sideline, that it pays dividends to be physical against this team.
Man in motion is Young. Gets to the outside and picks up about 6.
It's more like 8.
8. Danny Guy on the tackle. Don Bertone. Gain of 7. It's 2nd and 3. Just underway. 11:23 left to play in the first quarter. Garnet Valley leads 7-0.
Straight up quick pitch to Malik Young. Did a decent job. Looks like they gave him just the 7 yards there. So right, looks like 2nd and 3.
Man in motion again. Rose, fake, roll out to this side, pass.
Oh.
Broken up nicely
Coverage
by Jacob Buttermore.
Big,
15-yard out.
yeah, Jacob Buttermore. That was favorite target. Liam Wright there for Ridley, the intended receiver. But Jacob Buttermore challenged this week by the coaches to get a little stiffer on the defensive side of the ball. Clearly one of the, if not the best athlete on the football field for Garnet Valley. D1 lacrosse scholarship commit to Syracuse.
Man in motion, whistle. I think there were 2 men in motion for Ridley. Delay of game?
Didn't get the play in.
So, now it's a 3rd and 8 situation for Ridley.
Garnet Valley, and they have the 25-second clocks in play tonight. Although the one, yeah.
Rolling to this side is Stratton. He's throwing deep, and the ball is up and incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Sam Rudolph. Sam missed the first 2 games with an injury to his lower leg or ankle. He just made a good play there. So 3 and out for Ridley. Guy and Buttermore are back deep at around the Garnet Valley 35-yard line.
See, whenever you're at Phil Marion Field, Ridley likes to set up punt returns to their own sideline. Let's see if Garnet Valley takes a page out of their book and sets a wall up towards their home sideline here.
Kick is away.
Nope, they're going the other way.
Going out of bounds. They
Decent kick.
They didn't want to return.
Yeah. They angled it out of bounds at the, the 32?
32-yard line. Garnet Valley will put it in play for their first offensive play. They're up 7-0.
Mahoney, Thomas, Rivnak. Number 69.
Joe Thomas, Alex Yao.
Ryan Shomo in there getting another start.
Straight ahead. Buttermore picks up 3. Oh, Bertone picks up 3.
The Garnet Valley, outstanding day on the offensive line last week. I haven't seen the paper about players of the week or anything, but I'm thinking those guys all earned a bit of a badge of honor last week against Upper Darby.
Veer set up. Second man. Bertone off left tackle. Picked up 4. So it will be 3rd and 3. Good block by Mahoney on that play. He snapped the ball and then pulled out to this side and was the lead blocker for Bertone. 3rd and 3 at the Garnet Valley 39-yard line. Counter and picking up the first down, I think.
Looks like it. Good spot. Big hit by number 3 on the defense there coming up for Ridley. Samuel Ferkler.
Looked like Colin Robinson or Nick Westberg. 2 guys wearing number 8.
That's Westberg then. If it's number 8, it's Westberg, I think, on that.
Giuliano keeps it. Good fake to Bertone, and then he rambled outside, pick up a 4. Ball's at the Garnet Valley 47-yard line.
Every week the quarterback, Giuliano, is going to get a little more comfortable with that offense, and he's making better decisions every week and learning to keep the ball a little more himself.
Berba and Davis go wide away from us. Second man through again is Lassick. He picks up a first down just short of the 40-yard line. The 40-yard line of Ridley. So the 42. 10-yard pickup.
Matt Lassick,
8:35 left to play in the first quarter. Garnet Valley leads 7-0.
5'8", 187. Gets up and in there pretty good. Had a nice week last week as well.
Pickup of 4. That was Danny Guy. Last week, touchdowns by
There's been 5 running backs.
Lassick, Bertone, and Giuliano each had 2. Guy and Hamby each had 1, and Kevin Doherty returned a kickoff 80 yards for a touchdown.
Twins right.
Danny Guy straight off left tackle. Straight ahead blocking. First down.
9 yards.
9-yard gain. The ball's at the 30-yard line of Ridley.
Garnet Valley really showing why they kind of moved to that veer formation and veer version of this option offense. They really do get into the line
Quick hits.
very quickly, from the backfield, either way, the halfback and the fullback.
Oh, fumble.
On the ground.
Ridley's saying they got it,
And they do.
and they did. Giuliano did not come away with the ball.
No, and it looked
Something happened between the center snap and Giuliano. He did not retain the ball.
And Danny Guy comes off a little injured here.
So Ridley takes over at its own 30-yard line.
Jaguars still with only 10 men on the field. They're missing a defender.
Stratton keeps it himself, gets to the outside, gets about 9.
Let's see.
They have 10 out there?
Yeah. Danny Guy went off the field because he was injured. Somebody went somebody went on, but there were two guys that needed to go.
All right,
So
Westberg just came in.
Comes in.
So it's 2nd and 1 for Ridley. 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Garnet Valley leads 7-0. Wide receivers to each side. Man in motion. Handed off underneath to Brock Anderson, who gets to the outside. Good blocking. Down the sideline, and he goes in. A 61-yard touchdown run by Brock Anderson.
I will tell you that was either a study in Ridley tendencies or way too much respect for Malik Young. The entire middle of the Garnet Valley defense, linebackers and everyone, flowed away from the play following the motion of Malik Young, handed the ball off on the counter, and Ridley was off to the races there. Nice job outrunning the angles. But
Kieran Baker is the kicker for Ridley. Penalty on the play before the ball was snapped.
It looked like encroachment on Garnet Valley.
Indeed.
They'll still kick. They decline the penalty. Does half the distance to the goal help you on an extra point?
Kick is up, and the kick is good. And the score is 7-7. 6:41 left to play.
Let's take
in the first quarter.
Let's take a look at this play. Keep an eye on the middle of the Garnet Valley defense when this ball is snapped. Yeah, they're spread. Oh, okay, the little one. Okay, and everyone, 3-4 guys, flowed to the motion of number 10, Malik Young. And they just come back across the grain with smooth sailing.
Garnet Valley scored on the opening kickoff. On their next possession, their only possession, they were moving the ball well, but a fumble turned the ball over to Ridley at the Ridley 30. And a few plays later, Brock Anderson went 61 yards for the Ridley score.
Looking across the field, I see we have our regular crack staff of Chain Gang, supervised by Steve Conrad. Boss and Jerry DiGiacomo around down there.
Baker will kick off. Buttermore and Guy are deep, and the ball falls over, so we'll try this again.
Let's be for that hurricane force wind that's blowing across the field. The flag is dead still, and the ball just fell over.
Ball is short, taken by Guy at the 20.
Ooh,
another big hole, and he's up the middle. Oh! Tackled by his shirt sleeves.
Tuck your shirt in.
Yep.
20 more yards if you tuck your shirt in. But good job by the Garnet Valley return team. They're getting a good lane there for the returners, Guy, in both instances this time. Let's see if Jags can finish what they started the first time.
They put the ball in play
Take
at
care of the football.
Their own 44-yard line. Giuliano to pass. Wide open is Buttermore down the sideline. And he's going down the sideline. 10, 5, touchdown.
Wow.
One play, 46-yard touchdown. Giuliano to Buttermore.
Great little timing pattern there. The defensive rush right in Giuliano's face, but I think it was designed that way. Buttermore released, uncovered. Zellick Wooten downfield blocking for him. Got him just enough time to hit the afterburners and get into the end zone. And Jake Buttermore is obviously not winded enough to sit out this extra point. He will try to make it 7.
Cole Palace to hold.
It's quite all right.
Buttermore's kick is up, and good. And Garnet Valley leads 14-7.
Yep. So here we go with the replay. See the quick pressure that let them through. Buttermore just released off of that wing spot, and you see Zellick Wooten gave him just enough time. And Buttermore runs a 4.5, so he's going to beat most guys to the end zone. So a game of big plays tonight.
It sure is. An 80-yard touchdown on a kickoff. Garnet Valley scored on a 61-yard pass, and Ridley scored on a 61-yard rush. So here we go. It's been a track meet thus far.
Yeah. Perfect weather for it, right?
They kicked off and a track meet occurred.
Pre-game temperatures were hovering around 92 degrees in another heat wave up here in the second week in September.
Buttermore set the kick. And he hits it deep this time and high. Taking it to 10 by number 24. Trying to get outside.
Got some room.
And gets out over the 30. Alan Martin on the return.
Good coverage. Anything short of the 35 is okay at this high school. They're just short of the 35.
31-yard line. Sun going down. Maybe it'll cool off a little bit. Garnet Valley has a whole new set of lights this year. We'll see how effective they are as it gets darker. Here comes a man in motion. They give the ball to the motion man who cuts it up inside, picks up 5. Number 7, O'Seal Miller. Charlie Coslet makes the tackle. Pickup of 6. Stratton trying to cover, take it himself, and he did. May have picked up the first down. He looked like he was bottled up inside his 40, but he got the first down.
Guy that deserves a lot of credit for that first down is number 57 for Ridley, who is
Nathan Howland.
Nathan Howland.
Ball's at the Ridley 43.
I don't think that's not a defensive back, but they got different numbers on these guys.
Man in motion. Quick toss to the outside. Get a good block on Buttermore. The blocker was Liam Wright, number 11, wide receiver. We'll call it 2nd and 2 at the 49-yard line of Garnet Valley. 4:50 left to go in the first quarter. Garnet Valley leads 14-7. Wright goes wide away from us. Handed off straight ahead to Brock Anderson, who does not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Nothing there that time.
Donegan made the initial hit.
Rob Monticello in there.
3rd down. A yard and a half.
Wide this side.
Stratton, under center, quick toss to the outside to Young, and he picks up the first down. Donegan makes the tackle, but there's a first down on the play. The ball's at the Garnet Valley 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, when your middle linebacker has to make a play on the sideline for the The quick pitch. You know it's going to gain a few yards.
Anderson set behind Stratton. Man in motion this way. Ball's handed, pitched outside.
Good job, Bertone.
Bertone on the tackle. Miller, the carrier, picked up 2.
They've been running to numbers 11 side every time. Every time, wherever he goes, that's where the ball goes.
Our observer, Jerry Montell, is saying that whichever side number 11 spreads wide is the side of the field that they rush to. We'll see if that holds true in this next play.
Wide receiver Liam Wright.
Very tight formation by Ridley on this. Man in motion.
That was underneath.
The counter. And number 7 is knocked hard.
Denny Nealon.
Number 1, Denny Nealon, but then Rob Monticello laid the wood to him.
I think it was the other way. Monticello's out there, grabbed his shirt, spun him around, and then Denny Nealon came flying up from the cornerback position and gave him a big shot to send him out of bounds.
3rd and 11.
Sideline.
We're going to get a sideline warning here. One of the coaches getting a little too close to the field.
Buttermore just came out and is being talked to by Kate McFadden, the trainer. He just needed a breather. 3rd and 11. Nealon's on the wide receiver right.
Wow.
Garnet Valley wasn't set. Almost picked off by Donegan. Got a right hand up.
I'll tell you, that guy's been a monster inside there on passing downs. How many tips did he have against Ruston? I think he had 2 batted balls against Ruston. He's got a knack for getting right into that intermediate passing lane. He hasn't pulled one down yet, but he's knocked a bunch out of the air. Having a great year.
Stratton was looking for a quick slant pattern, but Donegan was right in there.
Garnet Valley's taking a lot of time on their defensive formation.
Anderson punts.
Ridley's quick.
And Guy takes it over his shoulder. Hands off up this sideline.
No, he didn't get him.
But
it's
taken out of bounds at about the 14.
Ridley sniffed it out a little too long developing because of the deep kick there. A couple guys got behind the wall, and Jags will start with a long field.
So our first time Garnet Valley will start inside its own territory. They've started inside their territory before, but this time at the 16. They were missing a running back, so they had to call time. 2:59 left to play in the first quarter. Garnet Valley leads 14-7.
Jaguars call a timeout. Opportunity for the team here in the booth. Don Mink, Jerry Montella, myself, Joe Ruck, our cameraman on the roof, Billy Vinci, to thank the alumni and thank our sponsors for allowing us to bring you Garnet Valley football on a brisk fall evening.
Yeah.
Temperature is plummeted.
It's brisk somewhere.
It has plummeted to 85 degrees now as the sun starts going down. Friends at the Concordville Inn, I think, streaming live. Duffer's Pub, I think, may be streaming live. But if you're a Garnet Valley fan, you're here in the stadium and you're over there on Alumni Hill. Great crowd tonight.
Danny Guy and Matt Lassick line up behind Giuliano. Second man is Lassick. Looks like he picks up about 4.
Picked up 5.
Picked up 5.
2nd and 5. Had the back end of that chain thinking it was a first down, started walking up the field.
John Rickey in at tight end. Straight handoff.
Oh,
Big gain by Danny Guy. Right off the right tackle. There was nothing deceptive about that play. That was just good blocking up front.
Joey D'Antonio back in the lineup had been injured, but he was Danny Guy looking for him to get out front and make an extra block 20 yards down the field. And so good. I mean, good trying to use his blockers downfield to get away, but too many white jerseys.
18-yard gain for Guy. Straight off right tackle again. This time he's
2 yards.
driven back. He picked up 2. Ball settled right on the 40. 1:45 left to play in the first quarter. Garnet Valley leads 14-7.
Matt Burba checks out. John Rickey brings the play in, and there's 2 tight ends in. But they are both, nope, they're got a double tight formation here.
Colin Davis split to this side. Danny Guy brought down
Got one.
right away, picked up 1. It will be 3rd and 7. Garnet Valley has passed once tonight. Good for a 60-plus yard touchdown to Jacob Buttermore.
Austin Patton checking in to the backfield.
Austin Patton, number 45.
2 tight ends again.
Giving off to the first man through. That was Lassick.
4.
He picked up about 4, but Garnet Valley will punt the balls at their own 46. This is Garnet Valley's first punt of the evening. Looks like Jason Rose will do the punting on this occasion.
Yeah, but Buttermore's still on the sideline getting a break.
Good snap. Kick is away. Taken at the 20 and downed immediately.
John Rickey. Or no,
John Rickey
no, that's the deep
and
snapper.
Dave Wood.
The Mahoney was there.
Dave Wood, the honorary captain tonight.
Thomas Mahoney snapping the ball and getting down in coverage, making a big hit.
Ball at the 24-yard line of Ridley. Look like we'll have 1 play here in the first quarter, and then we will reverse ends of the field. I formation behind Stratton. Man in motion. Ball's given to the motion man up the middle. He gains very little. That was number 10, Miller. Garnet Valley, 12 runs for 66 yards and 1 pass and pass completion for 46 yards and a TD, for total yardage of 112 yards in the first quarter for Garnet Valley. And we will indeed go to the opposite end of the field.
Technical advisor Rob Hayes checking in with us. He says the upgrade in the camera makes the picture so clear that it's really obvious that the turf needs a remake,
Yes.
a makeover, as they say.
I
that
thought
is planned for next
the
year.
field looked dark, and maybe it's the darkness of the rubber from the tires. So it will be 2nd and 9 for Ridley at their own 26-yard line. Good crowd here tonight, as anticipated for a rivalry game. Buttermore comes back in on defense.
I think Joe Rook's going to tell us at halftime, going to go over the series matchup with these guys, but Garnet Valley's been in here for 9 years, and it's become an instant rivalry with both of them hovering around the top of the Central League year in and year out.
Stratton rolls, throws deep, short. Oh! Cutting across. Buttermore was set to intercept, and cutting across in front of him was a wide receiver underman for Ridley, who almost made the catch.
Somebody was in the wrong pattern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Version at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was trying to go deep with that, but it's if that Ridley under receiver wasn't there, that was Jake Buttermore. And we've seen what he does when he grabs an interception.
Right.
Play's not over.
3rd and 9 from Ridley 26. Man on man away from us. Stratton back to throw again. He's being pressured, gets up the middle, throws it deep,
Turn around.
and it's short. Buttermore intercepts.
One hand.
Oh, he tried to one-hand it.
They're going to call him interference.
They were both going for the ball.
Yeah, I think they're going to say his hand was on his hip early. But that's a 15-yard penalty, first down. I think it's pretty good coverage anyway. You slice it.
So Garnet Valley will be penalized 15 yards.
They didn't call. It was a holding, so it was only 10 yards. I guess the hand on the hip.
So the ball's
That's
at
what they
the
were.
Ridley 36-yard line. 11:45 left to play in the first half. Garnet Valley leads 14-7. Wright goes wide away from us, and Buttermore's on one-on-one coverage. Stratton tries to keep it himself. He cuts up inside. Good tackle made on the play by Bertone, but he picks up about 7 yards. Stratton was their leading rusher last week.
Jaguars should not be surprised by the quarterback keeping the ball in this offense.
2nd and 3. Anderson straight ahead, gets maybe a yard. Stratton goes to the sideline to get a play from the coaching staff and comes back into the huddle. It will be 3rd and 3.
Jaguar linemen that are going both ways in there, Joe Thomas and Chad Ribnack. Both, this kind of weather could be concerned
Quick
later on
toss
in the
to
game.
number 7, Miller. He tries to get outside and does. Picks up the first down. Buttermore and Bertone make the tackle, but not until Miller has picked up the first down. Ball's out to the 48-yard line of Ridley. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Garnet Valley has only attempted 1 pass, and it was good for a 60-plus yard touchdown. Stratton back to pass. He's being harassed. He throws it deep, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by
Danny
Garnet
Guy.
Valley. Garnet Valley is
Oh, there's a hit at the end of the play.
And there's a flag.
It's gonna
there's a flag on the play.
Is he out of bounds?
I think
at
it's going
the
to
end
be
of
a
the play.
personal foul on
The ball
Ridley.
goes over The ball goes over to
After the
Garnet
play.
Valley.
Somebody's hurt. Got 2 players down.
Is it Buttermore? I thought it was Danny Guy. But it is Danny Guy. They're correcting the public address announcer,
Shouts from the
Dr.
stands.
Castafaro. Good thing that
So
never happens to
interception
us.
by Danny Guy, and he gets out to just short of midfield. There's a penalty on the play that we haven't seen the signal yet for.
Let's see if we can see the replay. He's up. Here's on your live screen here. Almost sacked. More pressure. He runs, throws away. Danny Guy with a great pick.
It's Danny Guy who's hurt.
Yeah, and then he's held up at the end of the play and gets hit. Flags come flying in. There was a fumble. Looks like it may have been a legitimate fumble. But if it was the result of an illegal hit, they may give the ball to Garnet Valley.
Ball, they're going to mark it off.
They're holding Danny Guy's forearm.
I think they're just he might have got his bell rung. They're just going to walk him off with the...
Ridley must have
Yeah, they recovered the fumble.
recovered the fumble.
Yeah, we could see it on the instant replay, but
And the ball goes over to Ridley
it still may have been
after a Garnet Valley interception.
Yeah.
And the penalty was on Garnet Valley, declined by Ridley.
It was an interception and you fumbled it. You guys recovered it.
So the ball's at the Garnet
And
Valley
here's another
49-yard line.
This will be a sideline warning for Ridley.
9:50 left to halftime. Garnet Valley leads 14-7.
Coach Ricky taking this opportunity to talk to the official on this sideline about that play.
I think Coach Ricky heard something from Danny Guy about what happened there. And I think Mike was saying there was a face mask on Danny Guy. Anyway, we're underway. Straight ahead. Picks up about 3. Tackle made by Donegan.
Chad Rivnak checking in to give number 63. White. Yeah. Thanks.
2nd and 8.
Mac McClenahan checks out. Rivnak goes in.
Man in motion comes towards us. In trouble with that handoff, but he picked up a couple yards.
Yeah, I'm not sure he wanted to hand that off.
Third and 5.
Did the reverse pivot.
Miller on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 5 at the Garnet Valley 44.
8:48 left in the half. Thanks to our constantly posted scoreboard, you can see what the score is already.
Quick toss to the slant, the flanker, and he gets around. That's Brock Anderson. Charlie Coslett on the tackle. And ball's inside the Garnet Valley 40 at about the 38-yard line. 8:21 to play in the half. Garnet Valley leads 14-7. Ridley's moving the ball pretty well here in this possession. Stratton keeps it himself. It was a good thing he did because his running back got hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's the
Good
process of the option.
Good read by the quarterback
Yep, and
on the keeper.
Notice that the defense, his option guy that wasn't blocked, both guys committed to the fullback.
2nd and 5.
Him some clear sailing, just taking a step around the pile and moving it upfield for some good yardage.
Handoff straight off left tackle.
Oh,
he didn't. He did not come to the ground. He picked up an additional 5 yards. That was Todd McCaffrey.
Yeah, they need to always wrap up out there, kids. Lesson for the younger viewers. Just hitting a guy and stopping him isn't enough. You got to get him on the ground.
McCaffrey took the hit, bounced, and then moved forward for an additional 5 yards. First and
down.
10 for Ridley at the 22-yard line of Garnet Valley. Counter. In on the counter was Rob Monticello, number 57.
That guy has played 3 years in the opponent's backfield. Since he's been a sophomore, he's been a tough guy to block. We noticed him early on in his career. He's has not disappointed. See Alex Yao in there, one of the offensive linemen, rolling in to give some of these two-way guys a little bit of a break.
In spite of this heat and humidity, we haven't seen the cramping that we saw in that first week of the season with Ruston.
They got special endurance formula Gatorade they're working with.
Stratton rolls right, looks to throw, gets to the outside, incomplete. He was being rushed.
Number 52, Donegan.
There was a complete hole out there on that wing back.
Blitzing from the middle linebacker spot and forcing Cade Stratton to throw a little sooner and off balance, and that's what happened there. He just overthrew his guy. Credit that to the defensive hurry.
3rd down, 11 at the Garnet Valley 24-yard line. This is obviously 2-down territory, 4-down territory.
Watch reverse or something to the left side here. Take it to number 11.
Stratton under center, man in motion.
It is.
Fakes it, tries to cut up field, breaks one tackle and is finally brought down on the second tackle.
Charlie Coslett, the first guy there, number 50 in the backfield, couldn't get him wrapped up. But the cavalry wasn't far behind.
Josh Shiraki made the tackle.
So it'll be 4th down and 11.
I think they did that play where they are number 10 up the middle of the field.
Right at the line of scrimmage. It's 4th and 11.
It's an old Garnet Valley play you're talking about, Jer.
Yeah, they had number 10 up the middle.
Yeah, releasing from the backfield,
Yeah, and then just right up the middle.
looking for a seam up the middle, hoping
He was open last time, they just didn't hit him.
hoping nobody catches him.
The linebacker knocked it down. If I'm
Ridley
Ridley, I'm
calls
going out.
time. Want to make sure they have the right play called.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously plenty of time left here, 5.5 minutes left in the quarter.
Here's
So
that.
they
I'm putting something over there on the sideline.
they don't need their touchdown play, but they need their 12-yard play.
He ran a 15-yard out the last time.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the game. He might do that.
So the Jags have been a little more tight on the outside pass coverage. Guys really responding to the challenge this week. Let's see what they can cook up.
No,
No.
and Jerry Montell is asking. They haven't run a screen yet. Have they? And they have not, and they did a few times against Haverford last week, effectively. Middle screens.
So the stock coaching advice on these 4th and long plays is watch the draw, watch the screen. And
Well, they showed the 15 yards. They showed the number 10 up in the middle of the field. So maybe they run a screen up the middle.
Scott Green had the entire team over, the offensive team over for a huddle on the sideline.
Malik Young
2 wide
split out.
receivers away from us, 1 to this side. Stratton, straight back. throws deep into the corner. Knocked down. Bertone on coverage. Incomplete. Ball goes over to Garnet Valley at their own 24-yard line. Jacob Buttermore also in coverage.
Ridley just going for the one-on-one coverage, trying to make a big play. And Garnet Valley equal to the task. Dominic Bertone from the outside linebacker spot. Running stride for stride with the intended receiver, Malik Young.
5:16 left to play in the first half. Garnet Valley at their own 24-yard line. 1st and 10.
Plenty of time for a nice long drive.
Guy straight ahead off left tackle. Picks up yardage out to the 29-yard line. Pick up a 4. Danny Guy on the carry. Ball's at the 28. 2nd and 6. Colin Davis goes wide. Swing pass to this side. Oh, just out of the reach of Danny Guy. Wheel route. Danny Guy was out in the open, and Giuliano led him just a little bit.
Trying to hit him right in stride, and so he could catch the ball with a full head of steam running upfield, and just led him a little too much.
That's the play that Buttermore scored on.
Yep.
2 wide receivers away from us. Giuliano keeps it himself. No, he doesn't. Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah, it was him.
Lassick on the carry, and only gets out to about the 30-yard line, where the Garnet Valley punting team will come on. This time, Jacob Buttermore.
Jaguars only burned a minute of time with that 3 and out. They're going to give Ridley the ball back with
Ridley
plenty
has
of time.
12 men on the field.
A lot of confusion.
And they had to burn a timeout.
That their last
They had
one?
guys running on and off. Yes, the last timeout of the first half. They're lucky they did get a timeout, or it would have been a penalty.
Yeah.
That would have given Garnet Valley a first down.
Resulted in a first down, so heads up play by the coaching staff on Ridley, except for the special teams coordinator. Aquatic distribution team comes out for the Jaguars. Nobody's going to say no to that tonight.
That's for sure. The 2 Ricky girls. We're distributing the water there.
No minks out there this year, huh?
There is a Marin mink on the
Marin
sideline,
mink,
but I didn't see her run out yet.
Not on water duty. Whoa!
Oh, the ball is snapped
nice
high.
catch.
One-handed catch by Buttermore.
Get away.
They really saved it.
Buttermore makes a one-handed catch of a high snap and then punts it away. And Ridley will take over at its own 32, 33-yard line.
Yeah, let's take a look at this
punt.
on the replay. We see Tommy Mahoney let one sail a little bit. Buttermore went way up top to get that. That was just extremely athletic play by Jake Buttermore.
That could have been a disaster for Garnet Valley and a real pleasant opportunity for Ridley, but for Buttermore's great play.
Yeah. We tell our long snappers to keep your butt down.
Stratton, long count, back to throw, rolls to this side, and is tripped up from behind.
And Monticello showing some closing speed. May have got banged up a little bit.
Stratton was looking to throw, but his receiver was well covered by
He got up a little slow on that.
Nick Westberg.
Good recovery by Stratton to make 5 yards on first down there.
Throw to the outside, complete to Wright, missed
Oh.
tackle by Buttermore, and Wright gets down inside the Garnet Valley 40-yard line. Buttermore was in a position to make the tackle, but missed.
Yeah, the poor tackling on the outside has plagued the Jaguars secondary. They'd given up a couple of those catch and runs. They are out there on an island by themselves, working man-to-man and going both ways, but I'm sure the coaches will have something to say about it at halftime.
Under 3 minutes. Anderson picks up about 3.
Nobody moved on 18.
Looked like Charlie Coslett on the tackle, number 50.
2 minutes and 40 seconds. Ridley has no timeouts, so they probably should be playing with a little more of a sense of urgency than they are.
Stratton under center, Anderson behind him. Fake to Anderson, Stratton keeps it himself. Somebody loses a helmet. Looks like Stratton picks up the first down at the Garnet Valley 25.
That's big Ryan Donegan's going to have to come out for a play. replaced by Moriarty. Ball's at the Garnet Valley 25-yard line.
Garnet Valley's defense has been out there all night. On the
Yeah.
second quarter. Only one plays. Garnet Valley's offense has only run 3 plays in the second quarter.
Garnet Valley's offense has only run 3 plays in the second quarter. Stratton hands it straight off, picks up maybe 1 or 2.
Donegan checks right back in.
2nd and 8. 1:40 left to play in the first half. Garnet Valley leads 14-7. Ball's at the Garnet Valley 22-yard line.
Here comes a pass.
Coverage here, one-on-one, right with Buttermore.
Told you. It is.
Straight down the middle, incomplete.
Oh,
They're going to call a hold on Garnet Valley.
on Sam Rudolph, who thought he was a little more beat than he really was, and grabbed a hold of the receiver going by him. Referee all over it. Flag came out very early. That'll be a 10-yard holding call, I would imagine. Nope.
No, it's called interference.
Interference, so that'll be 15. Puts them in great position here with time winding down.
Ball's at the 25, so it should be half the distance.
It's in the 10.
But he's giving him 15 yards. All right, the ball's at the 11. 1:17 left to play in the first half. Right split wide. Man in motion that way. Toss to that side. And being tossed out of bounds for a loss. Number 7, Miller.
Clock's running.
Up, they said he was down. He did not go out of bounds. Up. Clock is running.
And they don't have any timeouts, so they're
No timeouts. We're down to 50 seconds. 2nd and 11.
This has got to be a pass play.
They don't have timeout.
They have 1 timeout left.
sorry, folks. I thought
Must
they
have, one of
used
them
one
must
early.
have been an injury timeout because
Yeah.
they have certainly used 3 before this. So 45 seconds left to play in the first half. And indeed, Ridley is now out of timeouts.
Yeah. You see that Garnet Valley defense out there. They've been out there a long time in this second quarter.
Yeah, as Jerry said, Garnet Valley's only had made 3 offensive plays in the second quarter.
And several of those guys were out there for those. And we'll see what they got in store here. There, 12 yards from 13 yards from pay dirt. 12 yards from a first down that would stop the clock, and 45 seconds left.
Baker has plenty of leg to kick a field goal from here, but
If he's
they
got time.
want a touchdown. Yeah, they can't call timeout to set it up. Wide receiver to this side. Man in motion away from us. Stratton cuts it up inside and
He's in.
is in. Good play off left tackle. Stratton cut it up inside and scores.
Wide open.
So that holding penalty on the pass down the middle was
Yep, that was
costly.
Well, the pass
fum-
interference.
The fumble after the interception was costly.
Yeah. And Ridley takes it down here.
Baker kicks,
Converts.
and the score is tie at 14.
Score is tied. 40 seconds left. Jags maybe set up a return, but I don't think they'll. If they don't break a big play here, I don't think they're going to push it to try to get in there. And keep in mind the Jags lost the toss, so they started the game with the ball. So Ridley, after scoring there at the end, will get the ball to start the second half.
The Garnet Valley has an interception, but they turned it right back over with a fumble.
Yeah, I mean, a huge hit on the opposing sideline, and Danny Guy shaken up on that play. He just couldn't hang on to the football.
Denny Nealon and Colin Davis are deep. Trying to see if maybe Buttermore and Danny Guy are up front somewhere, but they're not. So it's Davis and Nealon deep.
Do have a bit of a hands team in there.
Low dribbler, picked up at the 30, breaking free over the 50.
All right, so maybe that changes your strategy a little bit.
Garnet Valley, I think,
As at
has
least
2 timeouts.
Yeah.
They can get 3 plays off here.
Jags have 2 timeouts. Let's see what they're. So 35 seconds and 45 yards.
Ball's at the 45-yard line.
That's just a little more than a yard a second.
I think that was Matt Burba on the kickoff return.
Colin Davis out here, but a big cushion.
Bubble screen to Buttermore, who gets tackled at the 40, a pickup of 5. But Garnet Valley calls time.
Yep. Ridley lined up with about four defensive backs, about 10 yards off the ball.
Two's helmet came off, which is their safety, so he's got to come off now.
Safety number 2 lost his helmet, so he's got to leave the game for 1 play.
Used to have a nice 2-minute play that I was always in love with, the curl takeoff with the
They got to go downfield.
running back rolling up the sideline with a
How about the tight end over the middle? See what
one
happens.
short pattern. Zellick Wooten in at tight end. He caught a pass up the seam
Right.
earlier this season. You gotta, if these guys are in a zone, which it looks like they're in a, they've got a lot of guys back, so they're playing conservatively. Jags need to find a seam in that area.
17 doesn't know where he's going. They're all confused.
The official is doing something. holding up the start of the game, or the start of the play. All right.
There's
Ball
nobody
set.
on the right-hand side here.
Yeah, this the Danny Guy play, or the Buttermore play.
Middle screen, read beautifully. Westberg on the receiving end, but he got nowhere, lost yardage.
All right, so the Jags need to maybe get a nice play, at least a first down that'll stop the clock, because that'll be their last time out. So that's what they're telling them to do right now, is going to call 2 plays. Second, make sure it's a first down, and then clock the ball. See if they can get Buttermore out there for a record attempt.
3rd and 6.
And Rivnak comes out, and Joey D'Antonio rushes in.
Giuliano. Straight back. Looking downfield to the sideline. Caught.
There's the first down.
And out of bounds.
They will stop the clock.
Stop the clock at the 25-yard line.
Line up and just bounce it.
Colin Davis on the receiving end of that play.
He stopped it for out of bounds, right? He's not going to wind it.
12 seconds, 12.6 seconds.
Did he say he was out of bounds?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He got out of bounds, so they have time for one more play. And a clock, and then to run.
Okay, three's wide open. Three's wide open.
Here comes the rush.
Look the other way.
Giuliano
Look the other way.
gets out of the rush. Good play by number 24. Colin Davis was on the sideline.
This
Open,
is,
but,
balls at 25. I think this would be a 42-yard attempt.
Alan Martin made
If they were going to kick it, and they're going to.
42-yard attempt by
Buttermore.
Cole Palace to hold. Mahoney is the long snapper. Good snap. Good hold. Buttermore hits it, but it's going to come up short.
They had a receiver back at the goal line ready to bring it out a la Houston last weekend.
Yep. Buttermore's not happy with himself. He didn't hit that well.
No, it was a good snap, good hold, and just didn't get all of it.
He closed out the previous two halves, the 2 halves of the previous 2 games with a long touchdown, interception, and field goal last week against Ruston.
Yep.
It was going to be an attempt to do the same this week, and came up short.
Good effort, though, on the that 2-minute drill by the Jags. Closing down, these guys are just going to kill it and go in happy with a 14-14 tie. So the Jags, nice return, and they threaten a little bit in their 2-minute drill, knocking on the door. They're going to have to go in, get some rest, get some hydration in them, and make their adjustments and come back out and play defense right away, because Ridley will start the second half with the football.
Coach Ricky's on the field to talk to the officials about something.
Yeah, I think he was a little upset, concerned about the play where Danny Guy got shaken up on the far sideline, and we couldn't see enough of it to really understand what he was fully concerned about, but it certainly an issue, and we'll see what happens. So we'll, as the bands begin to take the field, we will turn it over to the one and only Joe Rook for the Garnet Ford halftime report featuring Joe Rook.
Starting off by taking a look at last week's game versus Upper Darby.
Valley versus Upper Darby at
Upper Darby started things off. Pressure on the quarterback. Looks deep and connects with his receiver out down around the 30-yard line. Upper Darby, good field position. Quarterback under pressure, can't hang on to the ball. Garnet Valley falls on it. Fumble recovered, Garnet Valley. They take advantage of Upper Darby's turnover. Quarterback hands off to the second option. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Garnet Valley. Score is 7-0. A few plays later, Upper Darby now in possession of the ball. After the Garnet Valley score, can't connect with his receiver. Forced punt. After a mishap, Garnet Valley got the ball. Great field possession. First play, ground and pound game working for Garnet Valley. Score 14-0. Upper Darby yet again with the ball. Quarterback dumps it off short. Not going to get the first down they needed. They were forced to punt. Garnet Valley in possession. Yet again, quarterback keeps it for himself. He's off to the races. It's a foot race to the end zone. He gets in for the touchdown. Score 21-0. Upper Darby needs to get some points up if they want to hang in with a good Garnet Valley offense. Upper Darby quarterback looks over the top, connects with his receiver deep. Down near the 20-yard line. Great chase down and tackle by Garnet Valley. Upper Darby is going to take a shot in the end zone with a fade to the wide receiver. Great play by the cornerback to break things up. Upper Darby going back at it again. Quarterback lobs it up to his receiver. This time they work in for the touchdown. 21-7. Garnet Valley still in the lead. Next possession, Garnet Valley. A rare passing play. Works. Garnet Valley down around the 20-yard line. So we switched ways. Garnet Valley hands the ball off in for the touchdown. Score is 28-7. Upper Darby looks deep to his receiver. Nobody's going to catch him. 28-14 after he puts this one in. Upper Darby hanging in there. Try to catch up with the onside kicks, but great hands by the front line of Garnet Valley. They take advantage of that field position. Running back hops the pile. Touchdown score 35-14. Next possession, Upper Darby trailing. Quarterback forced to throw. Time running out in the second half. Wide receiver, nice hands, gets it out of bounds. Yet again, they go up. Deflection by Garnet Valley on fourth down. They have great field position. They capitalize with a field goal as we go into the half. Score 38-14. Garnet Valley starts out with the ball. Great run by Danny Guy. He gets out around to the outside. Gets around, down around the 30-yard line. Solid run from Garnet Valley. The very next play. Quarterback hands off, making things happen as the running back. It's going to break a few tackles to get in and score 45-14. Possession later, Garnet Valley quarterback shoots it for himself, breaks it and tackles, gets to the outside. He's going to score 52-14. Great block by the receiver on the end. Here we go, fourth down. Upper Darby cannot complete the pass. Going to have to convert here. Fourth and deep. Dump off. They're going to get it. Receiver making things happen, breaking multiple tackles. Great short dump off there. They go up deep. It's going to be a touchdown for Upper Darby. The cornerback falls. Score 52-22. Deep kick by the Upper Darby kicker. Kevin Doherty takes it down the field on the return. Uses his speed and agility to get around the outside. It's a foot race to the end zone. He's going to win. Kevin Doherty with the touchdown, 59-22. Possession later, Garnet Valley again, 62-22. Great win for Garnet Valley at 44.
We will send you back down to the field once the Garnet Valley Marching Band takes the lead. Until then, we will take a look at a few graphics.
Taking a look at the history between these two teams. Over the last 6 meetings, Garnet Valley has outscored Ridley by 28 points. They've won the last 3 games, winning 4 out of 6. Both teams are undefeated this year. A lot of pressure to come out and get the win. Will be interesting to see how this one plays out. Will Garnet Valley win 4 in a row, or will Ridley end a 3-game win streak? Taking a look at the Central League standings. On the left side, you see in-conference matches. On the right side, you see all games played. So, in conference, Ridley, Springfield, Marple Newtown, Strathaven, Garnet Valley, undefeated. Haverford, Pencrest, Conestoga, Harrison, and Upper Darby have not won an in-conference game. Lower Merion nor Radnor have played one. Taking a look at the overall standings, this is what matters. Ridley, Springfield, Garnet Valley, Marple Newtown, currently tied for first place, 2-0. And tied for second place at 1-1, we have Strathaven, Pencrest, Lower Merion, and Radnor, and 0-2, the defeated team so far in the Central League, Conestoga, Harrison, and Upper Darby. Garnet Valley looks to keep their 2-win streak alive, stretch it to 3, as they have 90 points scored for them, and high-end 30s allowed. Great defense and offense this year. The scoring roughly 3 points for every 1 point allowed. Garnet Valley looks to stay atop. Undefeated Garnet Valley versus undefeated Ridley tonight at the Mo. We're in Garnet Valley, PA. Garnet Valley 2-0, getting wins against Westchester Ruston, Upper Darby, against the new triple option offense, Ridley, new coach in the offseason. It will be interesting to see how this game turns out. After this, we're back on the road against Lower Merion, come back home against Radnor, back on the road for 2 games against Haverford and Pencrest, back home against Strathaven, away against Springfield, then back home for Conestoga. Great game to end the year. If you take a look at Garnet Valley's schedule, we play away more than home, no back-to-back home games, so this season will be interesting for Garnet Valley, playing primarily on the road. Taking a look.
Thank you, Ridley Marching Band. Entering the field for your entertainment pleasure tonight is the Garnet Valley High School Jaguars.
The Garnet Valley Marching Band is now taking the field.
2016 field show Dreamscape. We will feature 2 songs. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Candace Hildebrand, Annabelle Bautista, and Ian Maxwell. Field majors are Alexander Kuhlbaum and Anne Zara. Our color guard is led by captains Maggie Butler and Caitlin Kowalski. The band would like to thank the Garnet Valley School District, all of the band staff, the Quarternote Club, and the band parents for all their support this season. Last, but certainly not least, we thank our incomparable student section, Jag Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, experience dreaming with us without even closing your eyes. It's the Garnet Valley High School Jaguar Marching Band. Drum major, is the band ready? a 50-50 ticket, please take it out now. Tonight the winnings are $225. And the winning number is 373260. If you're the winner, please come to the band section to claim your prize.
Dear Lord, the battle we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles go through life.
We ask for a chance is fair.
We ask for a chance is fair.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
So we can't beat beat.
We can't beat beat.
Won't beat beat.
Won't beat beat.
Welcome back here. Pat Patterson joining you. Don will be along shortly. We are looking at some scores from other games throughout District 1 and the Central League. Scrolling through. And the Del Valley. Glen Mills and Great Valley are playing. They're in the third quarter. Glen Mills is leading 20-14. Is this upper? No, that can't be Upper Darby. Westchester Henderson up on top of Owen J. Roberts by a score of 21-0. Interborough beating Newman Goretti 22-0 at the half. Bishop Shanahan all over Pottstown 30-0. Perkiomen Valley 24-0 at the half. Penridge in Suburban 1 action. Radnor and Marple Newtown. Marple Newtown 3 scores to nothing, 21-0, 3 touchdowns at the half. Oxford and Phoenixville tied at 6 at the half.
These guys were complaining.
Upper Darby and Springfield are playing. Springfield up 24-7 at the half. Springfield will be coming, or no, that one's away. Garnet Valley will be traveling there in the middle of October. Chichester up on Pope John Paul II, 12-7 at halftime. Oh, I just lost a guy, but I'll get you a Haverford score. Haverford 7, Conestoga nothing at the half. Pencrest leading Harriton 8-0 at the half. Bayard Rustin having another tough week, losing to Westchester East 22-10. Let's see, Ridley, Garnet Valley, of course we're tied up at 14 at the half. And see if there's any other scores of interest here. We're getting way out into District 3. But that's that's a different St. Joe's. Lower Merion and Strathaven are tied at 0 in the first quarter. That game's got to be a little deeper than that now. Strathaven starts at 7:30, but that just needs to be updated, I'm sure. Garnet Valley travels to Lower Merion next week
For an
for
11
a
a.m.
11 a.m.
Saturday game.
throwback game. They're going to be wearing the old jerseys with the purple sleeves and the helmets with the Jaguars written in script across the side. Playing a Saturday morning game, a very rare Saturday morning game. And by the way, this very, very organized program hates breaking. It's
Yes.
it's routine to do that, but Lower Merion does not have lights and will not play those games. So they usually go around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but in this case, they're going to play at 11.
The Lower Merion School Administration has attempted to run the lights up the flagpole, but the voters in Lower Merion are vehemently opposed to having their
I guess
Friday
that's,
nights disrupted by football games.
that's one of the older schools that's location. Harriton, also in the same school district, has lights, but they are tucked back in a little more of a secluded area, at least the football field. Lower Merion's right in the middle of Lower Merion, which is a lot of old mainline people used to doing things one way. Lights probably aren't going to happen there anytime soon. So give us a rare Friday night to go out and catch the Sean McGraw show somewhere.
The Garnet Valley will be kicking off right to left after having lined up left to right. They're now reversing the ends of the field. And Garnet Valley will be going, Ridley will be going on offense from your left to your right across the screen. Jacob Buttermore is ready to kick. And we were having a discussion at halftime, Jerry Montel and I, that this game seems very slow, and it could be that because every offensive play, Ridley sends its quarterback over to the sideline to get the play from the coach, bring it back into the huddle, and they take the full 30 seconds every time to get a play off. Buttermore to kick. He hits it deep, taken at the 18, fumbled and fallen on at about the 24-yard line. By number 1, that was Taj
24.
McCafferty. Oh, 24?
Yeah, I think it's Alan Martin.
Owen Martin.
That's correct. Smart heads-up play to just run up and cover it. Could have been a lot worse.
Sam Rudolph is the safety. Lines up pretty deep. Buttermore is to the outside versus Liam Wright. And Stratton's under center for Ridley. Back to throw. Throwing on first down. Throws it underneath. Complete. 2 missed tackles finally brought down.
First down.
First down.
Ridley had a lot of success against Haverford with that kind of pass. Just a quick pass and let the receivers work on making somebody miss.
Ball's at the Garnet Valley 37-yard line. Westberg is in at defensive back. Bertone, linebacker. Stratton keeps it himself, tries to get to the outside,
nice
and does. And he's still running. Nice run. Stratton eventually brought down by Bertone, but not till after he picked up about 15 yards into the Garnet Valley 48-yard line.
Nice peel back block there by the number 7, I think that was Smith. O'Seal Smith giving Stratton just a little more, and then a great athletic run by him to pick up 15.
Ridley was down in the first 14 seconds of the game on an 80-yard kickoff return by Danny Guy, but they've controlled the ball here in the second quarter, and now starting the second half. Gotten some peel back blocks. He reverses his ground to Brock Anderson and run out of bounds, but when he saw nothing on the left, he peeled back to the right and got some blocking.
Yep, it's a very creative and good play when you pick up 9, but when the other team's there to throw you for a 10-yard loss, it'll drive a coach crazy. But that time it worked out well for him. Garnet Valley a little bit over pursuing to the play side and gave up contain on the back end.
2nd and 1 for Ridley at the Garnet Valley 40. Just underway in the second half. Ball straight ahead to Brock Anderson, who picks up the first down into the Garnet Valley 35. He's pushed back. He's pushed back 8 yards.
He's running tough.
But he got the first down.
Yeah.
There's a young player for Ridley telling the officials what they should do with, throw the flag, throw the flag, throw the flag.
Yeah. Well, what they got to do is blow the whistle.
Yeah.
We saw what could happen when you don't wrap up earlier in the second effort that the Ridley running back had. That guy, number 22, doesn't like to go down, so you got to make sure he's down, not just stopped.
Straight ahead is Brock Anderson. This time stopped at the line of scrimmage. '73 Joe Thomas.
Guys, a lot of
and Pusher's timeout for a Garnet Valley player.
This is number 53.
Shiraki. Josh Shiraki.
Josh Shiraki, yep. He had a little shaken up arm injury.
So it's 2nd and 9 for Ridley at the Garnet Valley 40-yard line. We're 2 minutes in to the second half. Score is tied at 14. Buttermore lines up man for man against Wright. Stratton back to throw, hold.
They got it.
And they got the hold penalty.
Yeah.
And Buttermore knocks the pass away from Wright. Yeah, there was a tackle made by one of the offensive players for Ridley. It was an on-rushing defender from Garnet Valley, and he got tackled.
Broke through the line and saved his quarterback from getting hit, but he's going to pay the 10-yard price for that one.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Yeah.
So the ball's back to the Ridley 49-yard line. They have to get to the Garnet Valley 26 for a first down. That's 19 yards. So it's 2nd and 19. Boy, it looks like a lot further than 19 yards, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20. All right.
It's 20.
Ridley.
It's 20.
Ridley up over the ball.
5, 10, and another 5. It's 25 yards, looks like, closer to.
Stratton straight back to pass. Here comes the rush. He ducks up underneath, and he's
hang on.
He should have been wrapped up, but Charlie Coslett thought he had him, and he broke loose, but he only picked up another couple yards. It will be 3rd down, and now it looks like about 20.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, you can. Yow.
Scoreboard says 15 yards, but it's really 20 yards for a first down.
Yep.
Charlie Coslett calls the defensive plays. Wide receiver is 24 to the top half, Alan Martin, and right to this side. Garnet Valley crowding the line of scrimmage. There goes Stratton on a keeper, and he is plowed under.
That was a better option defense there. The Charlie Coslett on a stunt came through and whacked number 22 Brock Anderson, who didn't have the ball. Cade Stratton made a little bit out of it, but good gang team defense by Garnet Valley.
Buttermore and Guy are back inside their own 10. Here comes the punt. Buttermore calls a fair catch, and he's hit by a Ridley player.
Oh,
and it's interference on the catch.
That'll help the return.
Yep.
That'll move him out of the shadow of the goal line, as they say.
Ridley fans showing their displeasure with
Yeah.
that call and saying nasty things.
Yeah, they wouldn't pass the censorship of the FCC. We'd have to bleep them out.
15 yards, personal foul.
Yeah, that is.
Yep. Garnet Valley takes over at its own 20. Buttermore did well to hold on to that ball.
Yeah, it was good concentration. 8:12 left in the third quarter.
Danny Guy off right tackle. Picks up 5. Straight ahead run.
This, as we used to be fond of saying, is perfect time to march the ball 80 yards down the field on an 8-minute drive and finish with a score moving into the 4th
2nd and 5
quarter.
at the 25. Buttermore off this side. Breaks into the clear. No, it's not Buttermore, it's Bertone, I believe. 15 yard. No, it is Buttermore. Out to the 40. 15-yard gain. Good blocking up front on the left, by the left side of the Garnet Valley offense. Looks like they grilled something at halftime. All we see is wafting smoke across
Heavy
the
air
field.
is just keeping it low.
No gain. That was Danny Guy on the carry.
John Rickey comes in with the play.
So Bertone and Buttermore are set behind Giuliano. Bertone keeps it, picks up about 4. It will be third down. Looks like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. The Garnet Valley has only thrown one pass, Pat. That long touchdown.
Well, they've attempted a few towards the end there in the 2-minute drill.
Yes, in the 2-minute drill.
Swing passes.
Yes.
And this is important first down because I don't think they would be in 4-down territory here on their own side of the 50.
Fumble. Buttermore tried to keep the ball.
Garnet Valley covered.
Guy and Giuliano was trying to pull it back and keep it, but anyway, the ball fell to the turf and Garnet Valley recovered, fortunately. Buttermore will punt. Single safety for Ridley inside his own 30. Ball is away. Good punt. Bounds at the 30. Bounds at the 15, 10. Inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. Great punt.
A great Garnet Valley bounce for Buttermore. Referee calling a official timeout for hydration.
Oh.
That's a signal I haven't seen. He did the hand signal of drinking water. I thought he was thirsty, but I got one. Yeah, we'll take our own opportunity to try to stay hydrated up here.
So Garnet Valley has pinned, thanks to a great punt by Jacob Buttermore, pinned Ridley back at its own 7-yard line? Yes.
Yeah, 7 or 8. 7. See if the Jags can stand tall again. Good defensive series to open the second half.
They're calling it the 6. PA announcer, the scoreboard says the 7.
This is his first game of the year, so he's
quick toss to the outside, covered by Garnet Valley. I don't think he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
No. Good job early by, I think it's Chad Rivnak from defensive end position, was in the backfield, and it's either Coslett or Donegan that cleaned it up.
Malik Young on the carry, loses 2. 2nd and 12 from the Ridley 5. So if Garnet Valley can hold here, that punt by Buttermore certainly has flipped the field.
Yeah.
If Garnet Valley can hold.
Oh.
Tackled at the 1.
Almost a safety there.
Almost a safety indeed. Rob Monticello tackles Stratton at the 1.
Monticello was on that play the last time and then flipped sides, came over to the left side, totally slipped his man, got right on the quarterback.
Not that it matters a whole lot, but they placed the ball at the 2.
The 2, yeah.
His feet were in the end zone.
So Ridley going pinned deep and going the wrong direction. Now have a third.
Wide receivers split to each side. Stratton hands off underneath, and Garnet Valley stops the play at about the 5 or 6 yard line. So Ridley will be forced to punt. Garnet Valley stands a good chance of getting the ball in Ridley territory.
I don't know how much they work on a punt block here, but I'd put your speedy guys in there to maybe take a whack at this. Any way you slice it, you're going to end up with pretty good field position. Why not get after it as long as you don't commit a penalty?
Brock Anderson to punt. Guy and Buttermore stationed at the 40. Good snap. Kick is away. Ball is high. Short.
Forget about it. Get away.
And rolls dead inside the 40. So Garnet Valley will put it in play inside the Ridley 40-yard line. That punt by Buttermore flipped the field.
A real field position battle just took place there for the first 8 minutes plus of this second half. Down to 3 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Looked like the Jags were going to be pinned deep, aided by a penalty. Still forced to kick the ball away, and Buttermore with a tremendous punt, pushing those guys down. Really, really flipped the field. Now the Jags with a 39-yard.
Garnet Valley set over the ball, but the officials are slow to get the ball out of the way, or get out of the way.
Giuliano coming over, getting a.
They moved the ball a half a yard. Giuliano sets under center. We have Bertone set behind him. Outside. Gets nothing.
Yeah.
Bertone went right through the line of scrimmage untouched.
Yep.
2nd and 10.
Didn't fool anybody there. The quarterback guy stuck with the quarterback.
John Rickey and Matt Berta come in. Berta splits wide to this side. Colin Davis split the other way. Fumble again. Same thing. The running back thinks he's getting the ball, and Giuliano thinks he's keeping it. And the ball ends up on the turf.
Yeah.
3rd and 10.
That is not a problem you can have when you're running an option offense.
Especially in those tight quarters.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have that mesh down. It's, we've said this many times. You coach the running back to clamp down on it like he's keeping it. It's up to the quarterback to wrestle it away from the guy, and he just maybe indecisive, didn't hold on tight enough.
Bertone gets 2. It was Bertone and Buttermore in the backfield that time. Here comes they're going to punt, keep Ridley deep in their own territory again.
Yeah, this one we'll see if
keep the ball in play. Don't put it in the end zone.
Yeah, we'll see if Buttermore can find the corner here. Add that to his list of skill sets that he brings to this football team.
Low snap. He pooches it. Short. And it rolls, and it rolls. And inside the 10 at about the 6-yard line.
Yeah. Same result as last time.
Garnet Valley had good coverage. They had 5 guys underneath that. And the lone receiver for Ridley had no chance. So Ridley starts inside their own 10 again with 1:18 left to go in the third quarter. Sam Rudolph is deep in safety. Westberg to one side, Buttermore to the other.
Big Joe Thomas been pulling Iron Man duty all night. Back out there on the nose.
Straight up the middle, gets 5, about 3. That's Brock Anderson.
Fortunately, tripped up.
Yep.
They had some daylight there.
2nd and 7. Under the 1-minute mark of the third quarter. Wide receivers to each side, man on man. Man up the middle, ball's loose!
Oh! Good heads
like
up.
It was recovered by Ridley.
It was.
the ball was on the ground and kicked inadvertently.
Yeah. 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, the 10.5-yard line.
Another big play for the Jaguars defense here if they can hold.
Stratton comes in from the sideline with the play, still looking back to make sure that he's doing it right.
9 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to call timeout.
They're waiting for the clock to run out
Oh.
for the quarter. And the clock does run out.
Wow. Good game. Good game. Not as high scoring as we thought we might be in for. But
No, I'm a bit surprised, Pat. I thought Garnet Valley would put up more points.
yeah. They're having trouble taking care of the football in some cases and shooting themselves in the foot in that respect. And, of course, the one touch, they've really only scored the one touchdown on a very big play by Jake Buttermore, the 60-yard pass return, and then the long kick return. So other than that, that's been settled into a pretty defensive affair.
So we have 12 minutes to decide this game. Ball's at the 11-yard line of Ridley. They need to get to the 15 for a first. Again, we've seen nobody in obvious issues with cramping.
Now you see them in between plays. They're doing a lot of calf stretches and things, the guys that are out there. But nobody has gone down and had to come out for that reason.
Stratton back to throw. Throws short to number 10. Oh, he broke a tackle and made the first down. They had him short of the first down. They had him short of the first down when he caught the ball.
Yep. Yeah, that's been a bit of a snake-bitten thing for the
And there's
Jaguar
a Garnet Valley
defenses.
player down on the field.
Yeah, we spoke too soon. There might have been some cramps. While they look after that player, we'll take a look. In Suburban 1 action, we got Penn Ridge losing to Perkiomen Valley 31-0. Keep rolling.
Yeah.
Let's see, Baird Ruston,
Rob
Westchester East.
Monticello was the injured player.
Westchester East 22, Baird Ruston 10. That game in the third quarter. They reshuffled these and they put them all on the bottom end of the thing. Yeah, we'll get back to these later. Go ahead, Don.
11:53 left to play in the game. The ball is right at the Ridley 20, 1st and 10. Fake. Stratton rolls, and he's been hit, and he's brought down. Inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line.
He had number 11 wide open, Joe.
Yeah,
Number 11 was open downfield, but Stratton had no time to
Yeah,
throw.
lots of pressure there by the Garnet Valley. Middle of Garnet Valley and the linebackers blitzing, putting a lot of heat on him. No time to get his eyes down the field. But
Loss
credit.
of 6.
Uh,
Second and 16.
Ridley guys are not going down on first contact. Not even the quarterback.
Wright goes wide to the high side. Buttermore in his face. Here comes number 7. He breaks another tackle. Breaks 2 tackles. Picks up 15 of the 16 necessary yards. Third and 1 at the 29. Oh.
There goes a cramp. Yeah, he was trying to stretch himself out in the offensive backfield on that play and got up and it just attacked him again. He went right down. Is that Bertone or?
I didn't get the number.
So looks like it's just a cramp. He should.
Third and 1 for Ridley at their own 30. They've brought it out from their own 6 here in this possession. This game, even though it's early in the season, the winner of this game could be, in the better condition for being at the top of the Central League standings. Don Bertone was the cramped party.
Yeah, they stretched him out and he jogs off under his own power. He'll be back.
Big play for the defense. Third and 1. Stratton, straight ahead. Picks it up.
Got enough.
So another set of downs for Ridley.
Yep.
At their own 32. Garnet Valley pinned them deep twice. Ridley deep twice. In this case, they're working their way back out of that deep position. Brock Miller straight up the middle, picks up 9, almost got the first down. Joe Thomas is shaken up on the play. Oh, the H2O crew does have a Marin mink in it.
There you go.
This is like the exact same thing that happened at Ridley last year at Garnet Valley. Scored an opening touchdown in the fourth quarter. He kind of took over.
Yep.
Joe Thomas down. I'm not sure if this is simple as a cramp. Maybe he just popped up. He's walking off under his own power.
Slight limp. Got to stretch him out.
Yeah, those things hurt. I get them now from bowling.
Second and 1 for Ridley at their own 41. Young goes in motion. Up the middle comes Brock Anderson for the first down.
Good enough for the first down. And
looked like Lassick on the tackle.
The Ridley here putting together a couple first downs here, putting a drive together, which is going to wind that clock and keep it running. 9 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Ball's out to the 44-yard line.
They control the ball. Garnet Valley's going to have to start thinking about time of possession here.
Brock
towards
Anderson
the end.
straight ahead, still running. Looks like he's good for about 6.
Number 78 on Ridley lost his helmet. He's got to come out for a play.
So the Ridley offensive line is he's doing a nice job here on this drive.
Yep, good time of possession here.
Second and 4, right at midfield.
Wagner, Bramwell, Weber, Kennedy, Tagnucci.
Man in motion is Young. Ball given off underneath and stopped at the line of scrimmage is Brock Anderson. Joe Thomas comes back on the field.
Ryan Donegan was all over Cade Stratton there and making sure that he didn't keep the football. He got on his back and made sure he lost yardage too, even though he didn't have the ball.
Alex Yao was in on that play to substitute for Thomas. Now it's 3rd and 5 at the 49 of Ridley. Quick toss to this outside. Cut back. Oh, he's down.
Oh, God.
Loss of 5.
Sorry about that. I was anticipating a flag there because of the high school football. Of course, as soon as you're down on the ground, the whistle will blow, and a Garnet Valley defender came in, and obviously the referee believed he couldn't stop himself and fell on top of the runner. No penalty. Ridley will punt.
Buttermore and Guy are deep. Ridley to punt. Kick is away. Low liner. Fielded. Good block on the up man. Here comes Buttermore down the sideline.
One more.
And he's gone. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown.
Wow, what a run and what a great
They set up the wall. One block at the very beginning of that wall sprung them. Maybe we have that on replay.
Yeah, we will. The wall got set up. That quick kick, a low liner of a kick, allows believe it or not, allows more time for that wall to get set. So we'll take a look at this after the extra point. And
Garnet Valley has 2 scores on special teams here tonight.
yeah, great effort by the punt return team. Some good blocks at the beginning of the wall and at the very end of the wall to spring it.
Oh, ugly kick, but it gets through. Oh, not.
No. So that won't get her done.
Garnet
Let's
Valley
take a look.
leads 20-14.
So here's the thing, and here scoops it up off the ground, fakes the thing. Here comes the block on the one side at the front. Good block there to spring it, and then one more on the end to get by, and good balance by Buttermore. Gets into the end zone for his second 60-plus yard jaunt tonight.
That was Jacob Buttermore's first missed extra point of the year. There's something wrong with that play. It was a low snap, or the hold didn't get that. Something. Buttermore had to hesitate and then couldn't come through the ball.
Yeah, just didn't get, like that field goal. It came out sort of flat.
Ridley only has 1 man deep. Oh, now another guy comes out.
There's only 10 guys out there.
Yeah, there's only 10 guys out there.
So Ridley's going to play with 10.
Buttermore to kick. He hits it deep, and it's taken at the 3 by number 24, and he looks like he's getting to the outside, and he does get to the outside the 30-yard line. He brought it up this sideline, cut back to the other side, and brought it out to about the 34-yard line.
Yeah, those deep kicks give you a lot of time to get ahead of steam up, and he
Alan Martin was the
still only out to the 34. That's you take that.
that all-important extra point that was missed. We'll see what transpires here.
Yeah, more than half of the fourth quarter left here. 7 minutes almost.
Buttermore departs, and Denny Nealon comes in. Man up on the wide receiver to this side. And Anderson up the middle. No, number 1. That's McCafferty. Picks up 10, first down.
Jaguars look like they are consistently blitzing the offside backer from the motion. If Ridley goes in motion, the backer away from that motion is walking up to the line and crashing.
The city was tackled short of the first down. It's 2nd and 1. 6:28. Garnet Valley leads 20-14. Man to the outside, picks up the first down. Brought down by Charlie Coslett, but not until he picks up the first down. That's number 1, McCafferty again.
Offensive touchdowns have come at a premium tonight. Ridley hoping they can sustain a drive and get down and put one in and convert the extra point and go home with a W here. Jags need to stop.
1st and 10 for Ridley at its own 46. Comes Brock Anderson up the middle, and he gets another first down. The ball's loose! And it looks like it was recovered by Ridley. Clock rolls. Second and 1 again. Ridley's been consistently getting 9 yards on first down.
Are we on the YouTube?
Here comes Stratton. He gets to the 40, first down. 5:20 left to play. Stratton gets up, jogs to the sideline, gets a call from the sideline. And makes that call to his Ridley teammates. Anderson lines up in the fullback position. 2 wide receivers. Stratton keeps it himself and is brought down from behind by Rob Monticello.
They're running that strong side over there.
That's a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Stratton and Anderson have been the primary ball carriers. Anderson lines up behind Stratton. 2 wide receivers to this side. He's back to throw. Stratton gets some yardage upfield. He had a pass in mind to this sideline, but it was well covered.
And Garnet Valley putting a lot of heat on once again, but Stratton has been very elusive, making guys miss.
3rd and 7.
Quick happy birthday shout out to the class of 85s. Donald Hurst got us plugged into his smart TV, 75-incher. Down at the beach. Happy birthday, Don.
Looks like Stratton is
Take it easy on the Jack Daniels.
stretching himself, so they have to call timeout. He was not prepared to come out and run this next play.
Yeah, we're
Now they're stretching him out on the field.
now under 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
3:38.
3:38 left in the game. Ridley where they need to be, which is in Garnet Valley territory.
In possession of the ball.
In possession of the football and sustaining a drive right now. So this 3rd down and 5, so this will be a big play, dare I say, play of the game for the Jags to hold here, force a 4th down, which, depending on their timeout and their trust in the defense timeout situation, Ridley may or may not be in 4-down territory. I would assume they are. We see some fireworks off in the distance.
Yeah, that's Thornbury Township was having fireworks tonight.
Don Mink's
Celebrating
tax
something.
dollars
Yes,
at work.
Yes. Anderson behind Stratton. Wide receivers sets away from us. Man in motion away. And he runs. He's going to throw.
pass.
He's looking to
He's
throw
wide
deep.
open.
And it's caught for a touchdown.
That was a interference anyway. All right.
Number 10, Malik Young, took the hand toss, threw it deep to a wide open receiver. Well, not a wide open receiver, but a receiver in the end zone for a touchdown.
It was a shame. I don't think he was, again, not as beat as he must have thought he was, and was face guarding the whole way down there instead of turning around to find the ball. But very athletic catch on a ball, just thrown up as far as he could. So
They're gonna penalize Garnet Valley the interference play on the ensuing kickoff.
wow,
That's what the official just showed.
wow.
And here's Baker to untie the score. There is a penalty flag.
That's a confusing. How can you penalize unless it was a dead ball
Motion
foul?
against Ridley. So they'll move it back 5. Baker's got a good leg. That really shouldn't affect. The ball is placed down now at about the 16-yard line. Here's a snap. Something again.
Oh, that was wide. But it looked like Garnet Valley might have returned the favor. Yeah. They got a little antsy that time, and
They declined the penalty because I guess the extra point attempt was good.
they were
I thought
signaling no.
They blew the whistle dead. They played
Now they're going to move it.
Ridley was celebrating as if the extra point was good. I guess they were celebrating that the call was against Garnet Valley.
Yeah, no, that was a little drift to it. It was a little Graham Ganoish from the other night. Off to a little wide left.
Kick is low, it's low, and it's good.
That one's better.
And Ridley goes up 21-20.
Ridley sideline into a full celebration.
Garnet Valley is now behind 21-20 and 3 minutes and 29 seconds left to play in the game.
And how many timeouts?
I think Garnet Valley has 2.
Now this is going to boggle my mind that they're going to, if they are going to enforce a penalty that resulted in a touchdown, it wasn't a dead ball foul.
Garnet Valley has no passing game.
No, he's just marking it at the 40. Pass interference.
And he's going to mark it off.
Don't you? If the result of the play is a touchdown, why is that a high school thing? It's got to be. It's not in college and anywhere else. That would be, you'd decline that penalty and take the touchdown.
One or the other.
How does this get to happen? I think Coach Ricky is
asking
is that exact
inquiring.
question.
We have officials talking to Coach Ricky and waving their arms, pointing. And
in any event, if this stands, you'd think the kicker would kick this right through the end zone and make Garnet Valley go 80 yards with 3.5 minutes and 2 timeouts. plenty of time. And all they need is 3 points.
Right.
Or another 90-yard run right now.
So Baker will kick. Buttermore and Guy are deep inside their own 10. Baker hits it high and deep, and indeed it goes into the end zone, and Garnet Valley will take over at its own 20.
All right, here's your
Needing 80 yards.
first real big gut check of the season for Garnet Valley. 80 yards between them and victory at their home opener. 3.5 minutes left, 2 timeouts. See if they can put an 80-yard drive together like Ridley just did.
Garnet Valley's offense has only scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Buttermore goes wide away from us. Colin Davis is wide to this side. Danny Guy comes into the backfield. Bertone and Guy. Gets the ball snapped.
Oh,
It's an end around to Buttermore. Good block. Oh,
No,
they're
they're gonna call it on the
calling
back.
on the back, and it appeared to be on the shoulder, not the back. But we are homers.
yeah. That's going to be on number 65, Ribnak. And the Jags will be put half the distance to the goal line. And that will mean
They
3
pulled-
minutes and 20 seconds
Pulled a play out of the playbook that we haven't seen this year.
and 90 yards to go now. 90 plus, 93 yards.
And it will be first and about 23 for a first down.
Yep.
So that
Well,
hurt. That
that-
hurt many ways. Two
That
wide
now you're-
receivers away from us, 1 to this side. Here comes a run. Breaks a couple tackles. Danny Guy gets out to the 15. The original line of scrimmage is the 20.
Jags got to be playing.
Second and 15.
Yeah, they got to be ready with the the substitutes here with the clock rolling like this.
Giuliano fakes a pass.
Classic.
And it's Lassick on a draw play out to the 20.
Back to the original
It
line
will
of
be
scrimmage.
3rd and 10. Garnet Valley rushing to the line of scrimmage. Giuliano back to pass. Throws. Incomplete.
In and out of the hands of Buttermore. A little bit high. Buttermore goes up to grab it. 9 times out of 10 will come down with that one.
With 2:24 left to play, Garnet Valley concerned about getting possession again, so they're going to go for it here on 4th and 10
Yep.
at their own 20-yard line.
Incomplete pass, so the clock stops at 2:24 until the snap. This is the play of the game
Certainly is.
for the offense.
Giuliano throws to the outside. Incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Davis.
First time they went to Davis all night long and just couldn't hang on.
I think it was going to be short of the first down.
I think it was too. And they were going to turn it over on downs, just a little short of the pay dirt. So the Jags will give the ball back, and Ridley can, rather than play super conservatively, I think they would want to try to grind this out. Put themselves in a position to ice it. Jags didn't use any timeouts there, right? Still 2 timeouts left.
Correct. 2:19 on the clock. Stratton. Hands off. Still running is number 10.
That's Malik Young.
Malik Young, who just threw that long touchdown pass.
Yep. Garnet Valley.
Garnet Valley calls time.
I don't know if it's toughness of Ridley or Garnet Valley's just had a real tough time getting guys down on first contact. It's been a real rough time tackling. Ooh. .209 remaining. 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 at the Garnet Valley 15. 14. Stratton under center. Hands off to the second man through. That's Malik Young, number 7. And he's still running, and he gets out of the tackle and gets it inside the 5.
To the
he just kept his legs
to the
churning, and the Garnet Valley players just didn't bring him down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the story of this game tonight is how many yards Ridley gained after contact. And again, not taking anything away from Ridley, but having some problems wrapping these guys up.
It was O'Seal Miller on the carry. Balls at the Garnet Valley 1 foot line.
And they're gonna
2 minutes left to play.
They waited till the 25-second clock rolled down to nothing.
Yeah,
The game clock had already stopped at 2. So now the Jags. I think you do the old get out of the way play here and let Ridley get in the end zone and preserve your 2 minutes and 2 timeouts to try to come back, because you're still at the end of it all. You're still going to be down 8 points here. So you still do have the eternal optimists, as you do have a chance to go down and score and make a 2-point conversion and throw this into overtime, which everybody is dying for in this heat on both of those sidelines. But
So Garnet Valley's first missed extra point of the season looms large here as Ridley leads 21-20.
yeah, a missed field goal and a missed extra point, both combined to be the difference in this game. And these guys, are they going to go into victory formation here?
Stratton did take a knee.
Yeah.
And Garnet Valley calls timeout.
Well, as soon as he takes a knee, that whistle blows. So, I mean, if I'm Garnet Valley, I'm lining up 5 yards deep in the end zone and just begging them to score. Yeah.
Scott Green, the offensive coordinator, is out on the field in the offensive huddle with Stratton wedges it. Ridley's saying touchdown, and so do the officials.
Good.
So because Garnet Valley was down a point, they went for it on 4th and 10 at their own 20 and turned the ball over, resulting in another touchdown for Ridley. But Garnet Valley's offense generated nothing.
No. Nope, they didn't get in. They get
Kick is up and good. Garnet Valley has a minute and 50 seconds, as Pat was saying before, to score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion to tie this up.
see what kind of big play trickery the Jaguar offense has.
We had that flanker around where we got the clipping penalty, block from behind.
Yep. Yeah, they just, both teams have given up some big plays.
Denny
just,
Nealon and Jacob Buttermore are deep.
Just a little seam is all they need. There's a little cricket
As
in
we
here.
had a
that's
cricket, yes.
not enjoying our entertainment value.
Baker will kick. He punches it low, and it's taken at the 25-yard line. And gotten very little by Denny Nealon. Ball's at the Garnet Valley 27-yard line.
73 yards to go, minute and 46. One timeout?
I think one timeout.
So, naturally, first downs and out of bounds will stop the clock.
And see if the Garnet Valley offense can come up with something here.
Yeah. And judging by the rest of the night, it's going to have to be a big play.
There's no safety in the middle of the field either.
Giuliano rolls, throws, and it's intercepted. He threw across his body. It's intercepted, touchdown.
That's a penalty, yeah. Oh, that was a first-year quarterback mistake.
Yeah, rolled left, tried to throw it back across his body over the middle,
Yeah.
and it was picked off at about the 30 for a touchdown. There's a penalty flag.
Penalty flag
At the
for
27
going
yard.
into the end zone with his hands up. That's a gloating or showboating thing. That'll be a 15-yard personal foul, and I don't know what the other one is for.
Rivnak.
The touchdown should be good, unless there was a play during the return, a penalty on Ridley that wasn't a dead ball foul, which will basically have the effect of not allowing them to win by 2 scores.
So there's a penalty flag at the 27. One official stands over that flag while the other 4 officials discuss it down at the 10-yard line.
So if it's not a touchdown, do they still assess the personal foul, dead ball foul for gloating or taunting? He's going to tell us now.
Personal foul against hitting the head. Oh, against Ridley.
Hands to the helmet, so
right.
that'll wipe
Was
out
that-
the touchdown.
Was that before or after the interception?
Yep.
Before the interception.
Before the score. So is it just during the play, so it'll bring the touchdown back. And then they had the dead ball foul that was A penalty, but they'll keep possession. Yeah, they're tacking both on because one was a dead ball foul for unsportsmanlike conduct.
But Ridley retains possession.
Yep, they will retain the all-important possession and will be able to run the clock out at this point, I would think.
Ball's at the Ridley 43. They are in need of doing nothing. Hand it off. That's number 7. Miller. I think that's Garnet Valley's last timeout. Coach Ricky is out to talk to his players.
He's telling them to keep their heads about them and not do anything stupid at the end of the game here. Ridley team over celebrating with their student section.
I think all the folks in the end zone, the big Ridley contingent as well.
Well,
1:29 remaining.
student section chanting for number 40 to get into the game. Must be a fan favorite. Malik Young, looking to get more yardage, actually runs out of bounds and stops the clock. Not quite a first down.
Third and 1 at the Garnet Valley 48.
And he looks a little shaken up on that play, limping back to the huddle.
Looks like penalty on the play. No motion against Ridley, I believe. Yes.
That'll keep
This
the
is-
clock stopped. And
Yeah. Prolonging the agony.
yeah. Clock will start on the snap. I never get these math questions right when they can not snap the ball and let the game expire.
Stratton tries to keep it, but
Jags tackle this time. So the clock will run. Will Ridley
so this was
kick it away?
This was just not enough Garnet Valley offense, and
I think they're gonna.
And
We are before we.
poor tackling on defense.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. But that will stand regardless of the amazing finish that we're about to witness here. They're waiting for this clock to run down to nothing. Ridley will use their timeout and kick the ball back to Garnet Valley with 38 seconds left in the game.
So Garnet Valley will have to go about, they'll probably get the ball at about the 20. They'll have to go 80 yards and
Well,
maybe on the punt.
it depends. Does Ridley want to kick a returnable ball, or do they just kick it out of bounds, which could result in better field position? Jaguars have scored on a punt return and a kick return, and very little else. So don't Don't go away just yet, folks. Clock will stop on the change of possession as well. Looks like the Jags are going to go for this one. Denny Nealon.
Denny Nealon is the sole
Yeah.
receiver of this punt.
The Jaguars got to be careful about the long count here, because they are going to have their ears pinned back here, and they're going to go for this. But
Brock Anderson is standing only about 12 yards off the ball. And he punts it. And he hits it deep and out of bounds.
let's see where
So
they
spot it.
spot it. He's got to walk it up. Just walks it up to the 20. Good kick by Brock Anderson. He's hobbling off as well with a cramp after kicking that ball. 32 seconds and 80 yards and no timeouts. Piece of cake. Gotta believe.
Got to do the old
The
32.
The hook and lateral.
They did the hook and lateral last year. Remember, it was at halftime.
The hook and
Halftime?
lateral
Yes.
and lateral again.
Yes. All right, 2 wide receivers away from us, 1 to this side. Giuliano back to throw. Throws to the sideline, incomplete, out of bounds. Intended for Davis. Thrown wide.
Ridley's playing deep, but they should have someone playing back about the 40-yard line. Their own 40-yard line. But they're given just enough cushion. Trying to keep everything in front of them.
Nice tackle.
Yep.
Completed pass.
Brock
but-
Anderson.
And time will run out. Nope, maybe we'll get another play off.
Can you go down the field?
Down the ball, so now it's fourth
Down the ball on third, so it's 4th down. 9.5 seconds.
This ought to do it for the Jaguars. Score or go home.
Twelve men were in the offensive huddle. Guy got off the field. Here goes Giuliano, back to throw. And it's intercepted. And that's your game.
Oh, they're going to have to snap the ball. 0.2 seconds now. They let it run.
Garnet Valley loses 28-20 to their arch rival Ridley Green Raiders.
So, yeah, give Ridley a lot of credit. They actually moved the ball and on the Garnet Valley defense and kind of wore them out. They kept them on the field the entire third quarter of the football game and scored when they needed to. Jags, lots of trouble on defense tackling. A lot of yards after contact for Ridley, and that's been a bit of a problem for the Jaguars. More so on the outside of the defense, but today it was symptomatic throughout. And Ridley earns a hard-fought path to 3-0.
28-20 victory for Ridley. They go 3-0. Garnet Valley is now 2-1 on the season.
2-1, and they'll get a chance to regroup this week and have an extra day of practice and play on Saturday at Lower Merion. Ridley has what next week? I'm not sure.
I don't know who they have.
Do not know, and so read the paper. Check it on the internet. You'll find it. So, tough loss for the Jags, the home opener, losing against a lot of their former coaching staff and the father of one of the players on the Garnet Valley Jaguars. But hard-fought win for Ridley. Give him credit. They go to 3-0. Jags 2-1, and we go to next week. So for Jerry Montello, for Don Mink, for Joe Rook, for Billy Vincey, I'm Pat Patterson. We'll see you in Lower Merion next Saturday morning. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.